Woo! And a happy hump day. Welcome to Morning Mics. And here we go. Wow, the State of the Union last night. Trump shatters Bill Clinton's record for the longest speech in history, hour 47. I think Bubba went for 99 minutes back in 2000. Trump was 79 years old, standing up there going for an hour and 47. Doesn't matter what you think he said, if you thought he lied his way through the whole thing, or if he did what you supported everything he said, whatever. You got to hand it to a 79-year-old man that has more stamina than I do. I can tell you that. I'm not doing that. And with zero, there he is walking in to the chamber. With zero further ado, we welcome an absolute great man. He is deep in the cabal here at Hot Mics. We love him. He is perhaps the greatest. You just tell me when you want me to stop the winding intro.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
He's as handsome as the day is long. He asks the questions everybody's thinking that they want asked. Please welcome. Let's just say it. The deuce is loose on Capitol Hill. Peter Doocy of Fox News Channel is with us. Buddy, wow. Did you stay up were you in the chamber? Were you in a special watching?
I was here at the White House, and I can confirm, just standing on my feet on Pebble Beach, 108 minutes is a long time just to stand.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I hate that. Like if you go to a game and everybody's standing the whole time and you have to stand too, like a sporting event, you're standing. It's crazy. But the deuce.
Yeah. And, you can't sit down. You can't look like you want to sit down because then people say, well, that's not what we want from a president. But there was no sign that he doesn't just stand up for 108 minutes every day till 11 p.m.
I know. Does that technically mean that he does work out?
I don't think he likes traditional exercise, but he's
like how
any
shocked
kind of
would you be?
Sitting is the new smoking, and so
sitting is the new smoking. Deuce, how shocked would you be if you were just like hanging around in the White House? All of a sudden, he's walking down the hallway and he's got some gym shorts on and a little gym bag, and he's off to work out. You've never seen this, right?
Nothing surprises me. I think I would be most surprised if I saw him in a t-shirt. Like, I think if he went to the gym, it would be in like there would be a collar on his shirt. I've never seen him in a t-shirt.
Yeah. No.
Seen Joe Biden in a t-shirt, seen Barack Obama in a t-shirt, never seen Donald Trump in a t-shirt.
George W. all the time in a t-shirt and mountain bike shorts and all that. One time, way back in the day, my Access Hollywood days, I'm flying with Trump from New York to Los Angeles to host his apprentice panel at some whatever. And on the way home, they bought, a bunch of catering was out. Then the Trumpster comes out. He's got the shirt is unbuttoned, 2 buttons. He's got the sleeves rolled up like this. The tie is off. That is as informal as I've ever seen the man off the golf course.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Peter Doocy, the deuce is loose on Capitol Hill up there at the White House right now, preparing for what will today look like? Will he invite the press corps into the Oval Office for a congratulatory round, for a celebratory, maybe take a few shots at Caitlin Collins? What do you think?
They'll open something up, I think, today. He's got some executive time and some policy meetings on the schedule, but I think he wants people in at 3:00 because he's going to be talking to Sean Duffy about revitalizing Dulles Airport, which I think is code for they're going to talk about the plan put forward by some Republicans to rename Dulles for Donald Trump. I don't know.
So today, after all of that, It is America's golden age. It's been the turnaround of the century. We have we're the hottest country, Peter. We're so hot right now. It's just, I mean, when he said the hot, he goes hottest. I mean, he speaks Paris Hilton language.
And
After
I
all
just
that-
saw I just saw some old clip where he was talking to Tom Brokaw and he was like 30. This is from like almost 50 years ago. And he was speaking in the exact same language. He was talking about how New York wasn't so hot. Now it's hot again.
Much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest.
I love it, this guy. Oh my God. So after all of this, you say it's today we're going to talk about Dulles Airport, and he has every intention of slapping his name up on that airport, yeah?
I think he would like to. I know at one point in the last couple months, he was at the golf course in Virginia, which isn't super close to Dulles, but 15, 20-minute drive. And they actually drove the motorcade, the presidential motorcade, through like the arrivals lane so that he could take a look at the outside, which is just, that's always such a headache anyway for the traffic. I'm sure it really tied things up.
How many people missed their flights? How many people missed their flights because the presidential motorcade decided to just to swing in for a little look-see?
Gotta see if you even want your name on it. It's not the best airport. It's not
No.
it's probably like the third best airport in the DC area, actually.
Another big thing that he did last night, Peter, was he made clear that his political strategy was to paint the Democrats as unpatriotic and crazy. These people are crazy, he said, and that was sort of a turn. He kind of started by saying, these are my set of facts. This is where we are. We're unbelievably hot. Whatever you're hearing about, these polls that show me as unpopular right now, we are hot. That's the real story. Now, let me talk about these people. And then he went negative, which he really works well in that arena. How effective was that? And how full was the room? I know some people kind of, boycotted attending on the Democrat side, but it looked fairly full to me.
I think like 70 of the members didn't go, but people occupied their seats. So it was totally full. And in terms of how effective, I think their plan worked because it's all about the stagecraft, right? He knew that the story could be once the coverage starts today, he's calling out Democrats for sitting down when he's talking about innocent people getting murdered by illegal aliens, and we're trying to fix it. They stay seated. He claims, I was not in the chamber, he says that some of the Democratic members didn't even stand up for the USA hockey team. I don't know how many. I know some of them did. But, and Mike Johnson came out after the speaker and he said, that's going to be the midterm ad. They're going to talk about these things that they think they're doing to make working class people safer and more prosperous. And Democratic members, the ones that were there, stayed seated. And so, and something that struck me, he doesn't really have a Democrat foil right now, right? Like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have been so marginalized. But, when you see like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar shouting at him, it doesn't matter what their point is or whether they're right or wrong. He's got the bully pulpit there. He's got the lights on him. He's got the mic, the only mic in the room. And so you see people pointing and they're angry. And it's like, well, that just seems small by comparison.
Yeah, it doesn't. They couldn't control themselves. We have Omar, right? When he goes after Omar.
With this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
If you agree with that statement, stand up. We just walk everybody into this step and look at the left side and go, Just couldn't go over tonight, not first day off for us. Look at this guy. Oh, he's got that shaking. Oh, so disappointed. Look at him. Oh, he's walking in. Yeah, he goes like this. He says, look at these people. And here's where he makes the turn and goes very negative, which for him could be very positive. I certainly for his face. Oh, he's getting mad right now. And yet happy. And yet happy. Here we go. Mark Kelly Wilson, Senator from Arizona.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over.
She's got some stones to be yelling at the president of the United States in that room. I don't think she's at risk politically of doing so. Do you? I mean, she's elected by people who want that.
Hakeem Jeffries told them not to yell at Trump because he knows that just becomes the story. They would rather talk about how they think his policies don't play and how it was 108 minutes of stuff that's not going to be better for the working class. But instead, we focus on that. And, you saw Trump's face when nobody stood up for the priority being protecting American citizens. And he was making the face of somebody that knows this is an ad. This is a print ad because we can print the picture. This is a 15-second thing on social media, and they can run it in the battlegrounds, whatever they are.
Right.
And it's something. I mean, they know. You talk to Trump about this. He knows that history is against him and his team here with these midterms, and that the sitting presidents always get walloped in their first midterms, which even though, technically his first midterm.
And in this case, maybe severely walloped. Even if you think the latest polling that's out is, let's say CNN is tainted or biased or whatever, if he wants to claim that, it's still not good for him.
Right.
Some would say the lowest. Some polls show the lowest ever, and that winning the midterms for him is not likely at all. So. Ask you this: does he think he cares about? I mean, is he gonna go hell bent and hard towards winning the midterms, or does he not really care? I mean, he's leaving at the end of his term, so
I think that he cares less after being here for a year and only getting one thing through the big beautiful bill. It's like he's got the Senate and he's got the House, and yet the government keeps getting shut down, either in full or in part right now, like DHS.
Yeah.
I think the big thing he does not want to lose is the Senate. And it seems like the Republicans will be safe, but if there is a Supreme Court justice retirement, like people are saying maybe Sam Alito is going to go, he's one of the conservatives. Trump wants to put another Supreme Court justice in because he's doing a lot of stuff that's legacy stuff, right? If the court stays conservative, even if they're not going with Trump for a long time, he could have 4 Trump justices. And it's the same thing with all this foreign policy stuff, like midterm voters in some battleground district that got wiped out in 2008 and hasn't come back. They don't care about Iran, and they don't care about the wars that he's ending. They want economic stuff, but he's kind of trying to do the big legacy stuff while doing what he can with a 1-seat majority in Congress.
You mentioned the Supreme Court justices. Was that a boycott, or were they just like, I'm tired, we don't always go? I mean, I think the Supreme Court justices always go, and there were only 4. I mean, the majority, speaking of a majority, 5 out of the 9 did not attend.
I think ever since Ruth Bader Ginsburg fell asleep and then had to reveal that she has a couple glasses of wine and just falls asleep at 9 o'clock at night, I think that some of the justices just decided it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, so we're not reading into the fact that Neil Gorsuch and others and Clarence Thomas were
I don't think so.
boycotting.
They knew. I don't think that matters as much now.
Do we always think that now it's a foregone conclusion that Al Green is part of his act is he's going to get thrown out of every State of the Union address, that that Trump is, because he did it again. I feel like I've seen him thrown out many times. He had a sign saying black people aren't apes. Is that just his way of going home early and like making a stand and getting to bed early?
I guess. I mean, what did he think? He got what he wanted, right? Nobody was going to be talking about Al Green. He could have gone on and had a really profound statement at a camera with a microphone after, but nobody would be talking about Al Green. And now we have to talk about him for at least as long as it takes to look at his sign.
I think if you really wanted to frustrate Al Green, don't throw him out. Make him sit the whole time. Make him go home. Get him in bed at midnight like everyone else. This one's going to be interesting. Trump this is often what he does is incredible. With he whatever he's guilty of, this is an old Roy Cohn, axiom. And it's like, whatever Trump is guilty of, accuse the other guy of that very thing right there. And in this case, look, I mean, it seems that the Trump family has made a lot of money while in the White House. The kids, the billionaire boys, are sitting up there, and they've been quiet lately because I think they're making tons and tons of dough. But Pelosi, he takes a shot at Pelosi and calls her a grifter and says, we want to stop the Insider Trading Act, and this should be enacted right away. All these Congress people out here are making money hand over fist by insider trading with these stock tips. How does that going to play? I mean, does that frustrate? Does the media even do they follow up on it?
I think that the thing with Pelosi is Donald Trump is still so annoyed at the impeachment inquiries from his first term, and he blames Pelosi, and that is just a thing that on her way out, because she already said she's not running again, it's like, I'm running out of chances with the whole country watching to ding her. And that might be the last time that we ever see Donald Trump go after Nancy Pelosi, unless for some reason he's like playing in a San Francisco house race. But I think it's more about just making sure that she does not that she is not celebrated on the House floor the way that she would want to be before she rides off into the sunset.
Got it. And tell me one thing about Melania's initiative on AI that he was talking. I've never heard about this. Does anyone in America know that he said everyone's following Melania right now on her AI initiatives. It's really gathering everybody together.
It's one of those, it's like protecting teenagers and young people from like the deep fake adult material that I guess with some of the AI engines is pretty easy to make. And it is something like when they have the big tech guys come here, Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman and Elon, they all engage with the first lady about this. And so I think that is what he was referring to. And the AI stuff, they got to figure something out, because every day there's a link that makes AI seem scarier and scarier and worse for the country.
He loved
and it shouldn't be like that. So
he loves it. Him scoring all the goals for the USA men's hockey team and beating up the Canadians. I mean, who does this? Who is the person that makes those videos and puts out? You've got to know this person.
Yeah. They have a team who watch everything that the president says with great delight, and it's like three guys. They just sit back there, and
they love it.
They've got a couple laptops out, and they are very rapid responders. But yeah, it's like, and sometimes like I've seen it in action where sometimes Caroline Levitt or somebody in her office will text these guys like, "Hey, how about this?" I remember, what was it? When President Trump got passed a note that like the war in Gaza was over or something. Caroline Levitt sent the meme guy a note and said, "Why don't you put that side by side with the time that Joe Biden got passed a note that he had something on his face?" And like 2 minutes later, there's like a split screen. Trump getting passed a note that the war is over. Biden getting passed a note that he's got like a crumb on his chin. And I think the caption said like, "We are not the same." And that's how fast that happens.
God, that's amazing. Speaking of Caroline Levitt, I found her body double right here. This is incredible. Erica Kirk looks exactly like Caroline Levitt. I think they could be, she could be her stunt double, or vice versa. Look at all the rings on there. Erica she has a permanent place in the administration. She's very tight. Do you see her around the hallways?
I have never seen Erica Kirk, but I know that she has a lot of, Charlie Kirk was around a lot, and a lot of people before she took over Turning Point, a lot of people were very close to Charlie, and so
yeah,
I'm sure we'll see her around more closer to the midterms.
All right,
because they need those Turning Point
Dulles
guys.
Airport today. You're focused on Iran. I assume we're all waiting to see what happens in Iran. There's lots of articles today. The Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, he's heavily sourced in 3 major articles today: Wall Street Journal and the Post and the New York Times and everything. He's clearly gotten himself out there, and he is not wanting any type of protracted engagement. We'll see what happens. Do you have any take on where that's going? Or
seems like the big last negotiation is going to be tomorrow in Geneva, and yeah, Dan Kane might not want there to be a big protracted military campaign, but not his decision.
Not his decision. There goes the great man.
I don't think Donald Trump wants a big Middle East war. Like when he came up 2014, 2015, it was just dumping all over the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war. He doesn't want to be tagged forever as the Iran war guy. He'd rather be like I dropped bombs on Iran guy. And then it took a week, and then we went.
Which is interesting to me. Like he's like, we eradicated their nuclear facilities. We decimated that. Why are we over there then? I mean, this is a regime that is tumbling on its own. It's losing popularity. It has no influence. We've already apparently decimated their nuclear facilities. Why would we need to go in again? Maybe we haven't fully decimated their nuclear capability. I don't understand what's going on.
I think it's like if you've got if things are trending so poorly for the regime, just a few airstrikes might push them over the edge.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. Just hit them hard a couple times. All right. This is the last thing. The deuce is loose on Capitol Hill, but I'll tell you what, we have Peter on Peter, a double Peter, one of our favorite guys that we met during the Karen Reed trial up in Boston is Peter Murphy. And, if you can picture Peter Griffin and yet except more handsome, and he is a former captain in the Canton Police Department, sergeant in the Canton Police Department for 30 years. He is a great American, a law enforcement man. We have right now, unprecedented here on Morning Mike's, Peter on Peter. Peter Murphy, a question for Doocy, at which he will take to the Oval Office and ask the president. Peter through Peter to the president.
I'd like to say good morning to everybody. Peter, good morning. I enjoy watching you and your dad. Tremendous coverage. You do a great job. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And it's always a pleasure to be on with Steve and Billy, for sure.
All right, now give him a question, Murph. Give him tell him what you want. If you were sitting in front of the president, which you will not be, Peter Murphy, but Peter Doocy will be at some point.
Well, you never know. You never know. I might get invited too. It depends how far off the rails I go, Billy. So listen, I was listening to some of what Peter had to say, but my main thing is, would you ask the president that if we are to believe that this nation was founded on a theory of law and order and liberty and justice for all, why can't we get back to that? Or is it time to get back to that? I think the USA men's gold hockey team had some amazing points. They had some great comments. It was very pro-American. And it seems like watching the last couple of State of the Union addresses with people ripping up papers in the backdrop and speeches and people sitting on their hands, we need to reignite an American theme and unity and not division. How do we do it? How do we do it, Mr. President?
Yeah, I bet Trump would have a good answer for that, Peter Murphy. And you know what? I got to tell you, Canton, Mass. is the hometown of my longtime producer, the guy who actually officiated my wedding, Pat Ward. I think some of his family still lives there. So if you
Okay.
pull any of the Wards over, just
You know the
maybe
Canton Ward?
the
Wow.
Canton Wards.
Did he have something to do with the Chicago miniature business?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Just
okay.
cable. Nothing that fancy.
Okay. All right. All right.
This
Okay,
guy's the
great.
greatest snowblower in the world, Doocy. You want him? If Murphy came by with his snowblower, he would cut perfect walkways in the middle of your lawn. Look at the work he's doing out there. See that side of the house? Totally accessible. That little cage there.
That's a 5-foot high fence, and that's a drift to the left. That's not shoveled snow. That's a drift.
5 foot high snow drifts over there. This guy can really blow the snow. I'm going to say he can blow it like nobody's business.
There you
Deuce,
go.
we're going to let you go. I know you're a busy man. We love you so much. Thanks for being with us, pal.
Thank you always, Billy. Talk to you soon.
Peter, good
Deuce
talking to
is
you.
loose.
Bye-bye.
Good
See ya.
talking to
On
you, Peter.
Capitol Hill. We got to make a little AI video about the Deuce is loose on Capitol Hill. And there he is, Peter Murphy, right there. Can you show us around? Can you show us what the work you've done? Because every woman in this chat section, I can tell you right now, is saying we all need a real man around. You know what I mean? You don't have to call the local guy. They want their husband to go outside and be that guy that knows how to take care of the place. And that is Peter Murphy right there. Peter? How'd you do?
You never end to you never cease to give me an overabundance of accolades, Billy. I hope I've earned them all.
You never cease to not deserve them.
Here's a look at the backyard. It tells you that again, 5-foot high drifts. I put hockey sticks. My son played college hockey. Was a co-captain at Babson, and so I put hockey sticks, of which I have probably 100 in the garage, just to show to know where the steps are, so I could find them
Peter.
with a shovel and a snowblower.
Okay, Peter. So what you're saying is you pull the car in, all right, and then you pull it over to the side and you hop out and you walk down the pathway, and you have cut a beautiful pathway. And we're looking at 4 feet, 5 feet high snow drifts on either side of the walkway. You walk right up there, and then you just take 2 tree steps like that, hockey sticks on either side, just in case the entrance of the home. A little tip to your son, which is a beautiful thing, right? And then in you go. You got the grill. Is that the front door or the back door I'm looking at? Back, right?
That's the back door, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody puts a grill in the front of the house.
No. Not this guy.
Not this guy.
No.
Murph, you're incredible. Now, if there's a nice little old lady down the street, do you take the snowblower down the street, give her a little hand?
I would do that. Most people in the neighborhood have either plowing contractors, which I used to be, and I retired after almost 30 years. I quit that job after 3 seasons of no snow, and of course we're getting a marathon winter now. But that's Murphy's Law. So what are you going to do? But yes, I would certainly do that. I would certainly do that.
Literally. Well, Murph, you're incredible. Give us one nice little pan around. Let's see all the work in the neighborhood and the beautiful. For us in Los Angeles, where it's sunny and 78 today.
78 today out there?
Yeah, 77 yesterday. Look at this beautiful. Look at his work.
I was talking to my daughter. She was horrified.
Nice
She said,
dental
you're
work here.
going to be on with Billy today? And I said, yeah. He said something about Peter Doocy. She says, who's that? She doesn't watch Fox. She is not a Fox watcher. I said, no, Peter's a good reporter, a good journalist. So she said, Dad, you have to swear to me. You won't talk politics, please. All right, here we go.
He doesn't have a divided house like everyone else. Here we go.
Here's a little, here's where we can see where the snowblower cut through the snow here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's snowing. Billy, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's snowing pretty moderately right here now.
Oh, it's beautiful though. Look at that beautiful house in the distance, and then you got space between you and your neighbor, and like it's so lovely. Look how peaceful and
it's very quiet. Everything's underground. There's no utilities. You can see they left a couple of feet of snow at the end of the driveway overnight. They widened the road. There was only like a snowmobile trail for a roadway here, and they opened that up.
Man.
But yeah, here we are, and I just heard on the news that there's talk of another major nor'easter next week here. They don't know whether it'll be warm enough, cold enough to support snow, but
oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. No more. You can't have any more Murphy. Peter Murphy, what an absolute legend. Let's just go through, enough of my accolades. I got to say that. Look, you have so many fans in here. Look at Pamela right there. She says, I love Murph. Oh, there he goes. I mean, look at this. You just have so many. Murphy's Law is right, says Anita right there. She also loves Peter Murphy. You know what they love it? I think they love it when I call you Peter. Peetah. Peter.
Peter.
Right?
Peter. Yeah, my granddaughter calls me Pedor. Peedor. Pedor. She just likes to crank me with that. I don't know why.
Hey, Peter, look, it's your friend from Lynn City of Sin over here, Steve Harding.
Steve, what's up, man?
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's a lot of people in the chat saying this is good snowing weather. I'm wondering if we're going to get you on tomorrow on a sled, Peter. We'll get you going down the hill.
Listen, did your family get power over there in the on the East Coast?
Yeah. My dad there near you up on Fourth Cliff and Humrick. They're doing okay. And then my mom's digging herself out of Leominster. So
okay,
Mom's digging herself out. Murph, get over there. Don't let Mom do that.
Right? I know. I should put that snowblower in my trailer and get the hell right up there.
Yeah, you get rid of Trump to do it, Peter. That's what you did. This Richard Master, he's our English man over there. Peter, I love you so much, buddy. We got to stay very close in touch. You're a terrific man. You're everything that's right with America. Okay?
Thank you for that opportunity to talk to Peter. And you guys stay well. And you and I and AJ will get out for an adult beverage or duels or whatever you want. We'll do it.
I love the term adult beverage. I really do. It's Peter, you're so great.
All right, man.
Okay, honey. We'll see you.
Everybody stay safe. Bye-bye.
Great job on that walkway. God, he cuts them tight and perfectly in the back and in the front. You see that expertise? Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I don't live in the neighborhood, right? Oh, yeah. Now, my ex-wife, Sydney, who I adore, we're very close. She used to tell her friend, she'd be, Billy doesn't know what a snowblower is. He couldn't snowblow anything.
When you asked if that was the back of the front yard, I saw Massachusetts Massville. He was almost like going to say, what are you stupid, Billy? That's the backyard. Of
course, well, he had the hockey sticks and the whole thing like coming up. I'm like, it sure looks like but then there's a barbecue. Like, who would have that in the front of their house?
Yeah, then he's like, no, the hockey sticks are in the back, Billy.
Yeah. He dismissed me. Anyway. Ooh, hi there. Nancy Guthrie. Did you see, this is what happens in the wake of true crime. Every little person with a phone is a true crime expert with an Instagram account. And remember, there was this guy we were talking about. Can't remember if it was week 2, where the investigation turned, certainly online it turned, and the chatter turned towards the drummer in the band of Savannah's brother-in-law, Tommaso. He had a guy in his band who had he had a couple of run-ins with the law in 1999, but no evidence of anything since then. And we talked about him, but I refused to use his name. But enough people used his name that the guy's life has been upended. He's 48 years old. The truth of the matter is he straightened his life. Didn't need to straighten it out. He had a couple of bonehead things happen when he was really, really young. But he's 48 years old now. And didn't we all do dumb things in our 20s? He's 48. His name is Dominic. I can say his name now because he's in the New York Times, Dominic Evans. He's the drummer in the band. He's an elementary school teacher, married with 3 kids, and his whole life was turned upside down. There's a beautiful photo of him. He's well put together. Look at this guy. And this is what happened to him as the internet was like, that's the guy that took Nancy. And look, the intentions are good, right? Everybody's trying to find Nancy and no one set out to destroy this guy, but what he's been through is incredible. Now, I think it works both ways, Dominic, and I hope that people lift you up the other direction. And I think that will happen. I do think that no one's going to there won't be any residual stain on him for something he never did. Quite the opposite should happen. That this guy was dragged through shit, and wow, let's take a look at him for what he actually is, and then lift him up. He's a guy at 48 years old with 3 kids as an elementary school teacher. Seems like, by all means, a pretty darn good citizen. Call Billy. Why doesn't the family come out and make a statement about him then? Well, they did nothing to do with it. I mean, Tommaso hasn't said a thing at all. We don't even know where that guy is, but this is his bandmate. Does he have a tweet that he could throw out? And maybe if there's ever another update, they could, but that's sort of off the path. And who knows, maybe they were, part of this article coming together. Likely not. Whoever, I don't remember the author, but I think it was a fascinating story and a relevant story of what can happen to somebody swept up in the middle of, something like this, an investigation that has completely captured everybody's attention. I did my fair share of bonehead things in my teens, 20s, never hurt anybody but myself. Yeah. Raise your hand if you're exempt from that. Oh, not me. Well, there's Joy. Well, look at the poor delivery driver who was questioned. Oh, no kidding. Yeah. That guy was yanked out of his car, and his mother-in-law was on the, so many people. And by the way, is this an example of another example of how terrible the actual investigation is? It's one of the worst. It's terrible. All of these cameras around, it took them so long to. My feeling is that Nancy Guthrie was taken over the border in Mexico. And, the latest from Savannah, she's definitely opened herself up to the fact that mom may not be coming home. And I have to, I go with her on that. I'm just sadly and reluctantly. Annie and Tommaso, Joy says Annie and Tommaso should speak up. I think she's terrified of the truth coming out. Who's terrified? You think Annie's terrified of the truth coming out? What is the truth? I mean, do you have an inclination of what you think the truth is? I mean, I don't know. Joy said, I made a bonehead move last week. Forget about my 20s. I ran around in my skivvies. I am no longer taking Billy's advice. Did I advise you to run around in your skivvies? If I did, that's good. That's sound advice. I don't know why I did it though. Yeah, so this guy, Dominic Evans, upended. The other guy upended on the Olympic front is Hunter Hess, the skier. Remember? And he's like, how do you feel about America right now, representing your country? And he's like, I got to say, there's so many things I don't agree with what's happening in our country. And I just it's kind of torn right now, the way the world sees us. And that guy got just obliterated by MAGA. They jumped all over him, but he has a good sense of humor. Trump had called the freestyle skier, Hunter Hess, a real loser. He changed the bio to his Instagram account to a real loser. Instead of U.S. Olympic freestyle skier, it just says a real loser. Pretty good. Yeah, okay. What's here? Here we go. Joyce Sexton is answering my question. Yes, Annie, I do think that they bought a house beyond their means. Their salary being dug up on what they both make and what they bought in that house. I think their mother, who is well off. Okay, so they're living beyond their means. Well, Savannah Guthrie makes 10 to 12, $15 million a year, something like that. Is it feasible that she helped her sister with a home if she doesn't have the same kind of wherewithal? Yes. I mean, I don't know what Savannah makes, but I know what the, main hosts of morning shows still make, even though it's dwindling. No one's, all 3 of the hosts on Good Morning America still make the craziest amount of money. God, am I glad I was fired after 2 months in there. Jesus. This BAFTA stuff is crazy. The BAFTA story is crazy. And John Davidson, who is a 54-year-old guy, he is the subject, not the star, but the subject of the movie I Swear, which was up for 6 BAFTAs, and it won 3, by the way, 6 BAFTAs. He is afflicted with Tourette's syndrome, which is, the symptoms of Tourette's are involuntary tics, right? Including the technical term for the blasting and involuntary blasting of swear words and epithets and all of the deep cutting stuff is called coprolalia. And that's him, John Davidson. So at the BAFTAs, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo are on stage presenting 2 black gentlemen, and he screams out, yells out, blurts out the N-word. Within 24 hours of the incident, what's interesting is 2 groups of people, the outrage community, gathered into 2 separate groups. The anti-racists on one side and the anti-ableists on the other side. And they're locked in battle over who had been the victim of the greater offense. Okay, this is great. So the anti-racists, stick with us here. They believe, look, woke culture may be in decline, but these people are the diehard adherents. They still exist in big numbers. Don't you feel that? It's not totally gone. The wokies are out there still waiting. And you know what? They're starving. They want fresh meat. They're tired of being, what is this anti-woke thing? Oh, no. They're getting restless. And there's many of them. And don't think at some point this isn't coming back around. It sure is. I wish it was dead forever. And I applaud Trump for smashing it and at least hitting reset on the clock. But the anti-racists are hungry. There's an ex-user, somebody on Twitter right after the incident said, John Davidson is racist and his Tourette's is not an excuse. And that post racked up more than 1.9 million views. It is an excuse, first of all. You're wrong. There's a filmmaker named John T. Richardson announced Tuesday that he's going to withdraw his position as a BAFTA judge over the incident, writing on LinkedIn, I cannot and will not contribute my time, energy, and expertise to an organization that has repeatedly failed to safeguard the dignity of its Black guests, members, and the Black creative community. Okay, these are the anti-racist people. Then you got the anti-ableists, okay? Who's the greater victim? They're vying for the top position of victimhood. These are the people, that people with disabilities shouldn't have to, they believe people with disabilities like Tourette's should not have to sequester themselves away from public view or fancy award ceremonies just because those disabilities express themselves in ways that other people would prefer not to witness. The uncomfortability factor. Or as one commenter put it, literally calling for disabled people to be segregated and erased from public life to spare the inconvenience of being offended by them. And their belief is, okay, who's next? People with dwarfism, facial deformities, missing limbs. Oh, how about conditions like cerebral palsy where, there's some of the symptoms are spasm and drooling, and people who basically, and my friend Kat Rosenfeld writes this in the Free Press, people who in a less enlightened era would have been institutionalized or paraded around in freak shows, right? The bearded lady. In 2024 at the BAFTAs, they gave a standing ovation to Michael J. Fox. Don't forget that. right? I mean, he got out of his chair and he barely made it to the podium to be honored. And they just roared with that. Okay. The thing about Tourette's is it is completely involuntary. And I did some research. I'm like, does it suggest, like, if you're drunk and you say something like, I was drunk, but you kind of believe it in there. Jamie Foxx, speaking of Michael J. Fox, let's go to his cousin Jamie Foxx, commented on social media after this whole thing. He said, nah, he meant that shit. Talking about the John Davidson, the man with Tourette's. Nah, Jamie, nah, he didn't. And I'm sorry that, and I know it's an uncomfortable thing and you're pissed, but no, he didn't, dude. Here's the richest bit of the whole thing. And Kat Rosenfeld made this point. I'm just going to share it with you. As previously mentioned, the film based on John Davidson's life, I Swear, which I told you was up for 6 awards, it won 3 awards, including Best Actor in a leading role for Robert Aramayo, who plays John Davidson. In other words, the same people who took to social media to excoriate a man with Tourette's syndrome for ruining their evening, and the BAFTAs for allowing him to do so just hours previous, applauding a very different man who received that evening's highest honor for pretending to have Tourette's. Oh my God. The irony is twisted and it's delicious. And it wouldn't be out of place in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Like Larry David should be in the middle of all of this. It's just incredible. I don't know. So my whole take on the thing is, I'm sorry. I'm with the anti-ableists. I mean, I looked it up. Tourette's syndrome. There is no suggestion that this is his internally held beliefs and he just can't control himself. And I'm sorry, it's hard to accept that. Imagine how this guy feels, because he can feel remorse. Later, he can be told, this is what happened, and he can feel terrible about it. How do you think this guy feels, being the guy in the room that had to yell that? Right? I mean, if he was a racist, oh my God, pull him out, get him out of there, whatever. He's not. He's unwell in that way. So, it's so funny. When somebody, and I'm surprised at Jamie Foxx, because when somebody who's representing a marginalized community or somebody who's been held down, it's like, wait a minute, no, there's no room for you up here. There's no room for you up here. This is where I am. You don't get to come up here and join me on that. Yes, he does. This guy's like, he's got Tourette's syndrome. I mean, imagine how horrible and sad that is for him, right? So you gotta put your arms around him, even when it gets super uncomfortable, like that. Tourette's can be like a sneeze. When the tick starts, it's like a sneezing attack. It cannot stop until it's out of your system. Yeah. Anyway, these two communities, it's like Hollywood, just stop. You know what I mean? It's like, who's the greater victim? I mean, but everybody's a victim. But you're all in beautiful clothing provided by expensive couture houses, right? So it's everyone who's having this, debate, fallout, are from extreme privilege at the BAFTAs. Nobody can just walk into the BAFTAs. For those with Tourette's, it's like the words are not to be thought, much less. For those with Tourette's, it's like the words are not the thought, much less said come out, and it is absolutely involuntary. I think I get the point there. Yeah. Oh, look at this. My late husband had Tourette's. It is extremely hard to predict or stop them sometimes. Oh, and it must be like, imagine, you're with your husband and you're going into a grocery store. I mean, your ass has got to clench up pretty tight, like, oh, what's about to happen in here? Imagine the caretakers, the loved one of someone with Tourette's, and like, how many, you must live in a constant state of stress, ready to apologize to a room full of people who have no idea of your loved one's condition. Oh my God. So for Jamie Foxx, who has a big footprint, to say, nah, he meant that shit, somebody needs to educate him and demand an apology. I like Jamie, but he's just feeling encroached upon.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
Really, I like this from Lawson.
We need to stop trying to define folks by the last and worst thing they have ever done. We're all complex souls.
I feel like that's social media now. Like the one bad thing and that's it.
That's
like
it.
One thing happens.
I know nothing about that. Joe the cat. I like Jamie, but he's wrong. Lawson. Oh yeah, this. You know what this is? My daughter would say, "Clock it." The kids do this. Did you see the girl last night? Sage, the girl at the State of the Union. She was up there. She was, I guess, she said, Trump said the authorities tried to give her a gender transition.
Yeah, I got actually confused.
And she's like, I got so confused about that. Like they wanted to make her a boy. And she fought, no, I'm a girl. And she actually is a girl. I'm like, who would do that? What world are we living in? And she goes, clock it. Oh my God, you guys.
Bill, I have one more Trump moment that I know that you're going to love. Very short, but I didn't want it to go away. Here we go.
Planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter.
Oh, here we go.
A big, beautiful.
I know what you're doing here.
I know.
The president gets aroused when he talks about military equipment. He see it in the teleprompter and he's like, oh, his skin, he gets flush, right? And he gets a little tingly and he sees the words are coming like, oh, we're about to talk about a Black Hawk. Oh my God. All right, let me back it up.
A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It's a massive Chinook carrying a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It's a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It's a massive Chinook carrying,
I know
as you can imagine, many American warfighters wearing the dog tag. A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. Is a massive Chinook.
There's a guy I follow on Instagram named Bran Hatton. Have you ever seen Bran Hatton? He's this gay guy that his name must be Brandon and he must live in Manhattan. Oh, I know. So yeah, and he's the one who does that. Oh my God. And he does a perfect lip sync to Trump commentary. He must be having a ball with that. I guarantee you that's already up. He does a great job. You know what? Let's get Polynesia in here. Hold on. Best president in the history of the USA. Trump, the best. All right, Polynesia. I just want you to know all opinions are heard in here, including yours. There you go. You got that in. Big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. Oh my God, a Chinook. Oh my. Oh God. Oh shit, it's so good. It's so powerful. Oh, that wasn't just any helicopter. It was big, beautiful, powerful, penetrating Chinook. Oh. What's going on with Melania? Let's see Melania next, man. She's just stone cold. There we go.
Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact.
Hold on, Steve. I can't hear. I got it. You've turned my volume down. You won't let me have my volume up. Can I turn it up?
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that?
You like that?
Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and
She
helping
did?
secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous.
What was the talent fee she got for that? She got $28 million for the Melania movie, which was a beautiful shakedown of Bezos. He loves a big chopper. Oh my God, does he love it? I love a big chopper. I love it so much. Oh my God. Okay. See you later, Melania. Oh my God. Stone cold, stone cold. Okay. Well, you know what? I loved her move. Polynesia. Wait, Polynesia. Huge. Yes. She is deep in MAGA land. We love you, or he loved her movie. Yeah. You know, I found the director of that movie, we mentioned this yesterday, Brett Ratner. He was engaged to Rebecca Gayheart. And Eric Dane went in and said, that's my girl. And she left Brett Ratner for Eric Dane. Isn't that amazing?
If you look at the two bill,
Polynesia loved her movie. Yeah, Polly, let's call her Polly. I think it's a her, but it could be a him. I don't know, Polly. But you know what? You're in there. You're part of the community. Okay? But you're on thin ice. I'm going to say, no, you're not. I watched Melania 2 times. Okay, that's enough, Steve. I think. I mean, great. I watched it 3 times. So there you go, Polly. Take that. That's it for us, I think, Steve. I don't know. I got a very non-busy day today.
Yep.
Oh, I got to tell you something.
Oh
My God. I'm meeting with a guy. So I got this, what I think is, I thought a random email, and it was from this investment group, and we're looking at these investments, and I'm like, well, I would never, I have an investment manager. I'm careful about this stuff, I think. But I was like, you know what? Like, the name on this guy, it's like I went to school, and it's like a John Smith. I mean, it's a name that's not, I'll tell you, the last name is Johnson, and the first name is, a fairly regular name. I'm like, is that the same guy I went to school with? It just, when you have an intuition, like, I think it is. I don't know why. There's no photo here. I respond, hey, is this the same blank Johnson who and turns out, yeah. Hey. And we're looking at a few investments in AI and all these companies. I'm like, I got a lot of AI stuff like going on, and AI's. And then an amazing investment came in, and I put in more than I should, because I haven't made, you know how we operate around here. We're in building mode. But I thought, this sounds really fun. And it's in the same division, the same league as Ryan Reynolds' team. So I invested, for me, pretty well. In the Ipswich Town Football Club.
Ipswich.
The Ipswich Football Club, which is a division below the Premier League. It's not, but in success, what I love about English soccer is that you win and you move up. And then the franchise is bonkers. But I think for our purposes, it's Billy Bush, the Bushman, versus Ryan Reynolds. Okay. Welcome to Wrexham. I'm going to say this. Welcome to Ipswich. Okay. And guess what the name of the team is? We're going to get unis for everybody.
Coach, I'm a soccer guy.
You're going to I'm going to get, your kids are going to have, Maddie and Abby are going to have their own Ipswich. And guess what the name of the team is? The Tractor Boys. Isn't that great?
That's so good.
The Ipswich, and they were in my dream last night. I dreamed that my daughter was taking the field with her soccer team in Ipswich, in the little, in the town of Ipswich, against the Ipswich girls team. But anyway, the Tractor Boys. So guys, you got to root for the Tractor Boys. Ipswich, let's down with Wrexham, up with Ipswich. All right? There you go. Take that, Ryan Reynolds. I'm now going to battle with you. I'm going to pretend that I'm the main owner, okay? Not the little sliver guy. Okay, that's it. We're done. Big, beautiful, powerful Chinook glistening, guns on the side.
A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It's a massive Chinook.
So great. He loves it. You know what? Go watch it again. You've had a hard week already. It's a hump day, Polynesia. Watch Melania for a third time. Come on. Treat yourself. She's so beautiful. If I were a designer, I would. No kidding. Amen to that. Oh my God. Gorgeous.